This is Alan Shlemon. He's with Stand to Reason. He's written a book on Islam, which I highly recommend to you, a little booklet on understanding Islam. And I would encourage you to go to str.org and get that and zillions of other great resources that are there. But Alan showed me last night during one of the breaks a little chart he has developed to help you very quickly categorize the type of pro-abortion argument you're hearing and quickly sort it. And once you do that, you intuitively know what your next step is, because you don't have to sit there and go, now how does this fit to the bigger picture? And it limits the ability of your critic to send you down rabbit trails, a zillion of them. So I'm going to take a moment and just have Alan illustrate this chart for you, because I think it's very helpful. Are you willing to email it out to anybody that wants it?
Sure.
Or can you place it on some kind of site? Or
yeah, maybe I can give it to Scott Ray, and when he sends out the other
bingo.
PowerPoint, I can send this one out.
That would be great. So
it's in PowerPoint or a Word format.
I'm going to have Alan take just a moment and explain the chart that he showed to me so that you can see it.
Yeah, so this came about as a result of preparing for a debate I was doing against a feminist earlier this year at Cal State San Marcos. And as I was trying to organize my own thoughts, it helped me to sort of categorize all the defenses for abortion that she might possibly bring up. And what I found was, and this is, I think it's something that you would recognize if you just looked at the information that we've gone over, that virtually all the arguments for abortion can be responded to by understanding just kind of the simple way of flow charting the argument. So first, you ask, is there defense for abortion? Are they, if you ask the question, is the unborn a human being in their defense of abortion? Now, in most instances, as Scott has pointed out, the answer is no. They're assuming that the unborn is not a human being. So if that's the case, then what you're going to do is try the toddler, which is one of the tactics that Scott was talking about. And so, of course, that narrows the whole discussion to the one question that matters, which is what is the unborn? And of course, you can make the case for the humanity of the unborn through science and well, basically the scientific argument. So if you ask the question, is the unborn a human being? And in their kind of defense for abortion, they're like, yeah, I think the unborn is a human being, which, by the way, was the position the feminist that I was debating took. She says, yeah, I think they're a human being, but I still think that we can still have an abortion because they're not a valuable human being, or because they're not persons. And that's where this part of the flow chart comes into play, is asking the question, well, are all human beings valuable? And she was saying, no, they're not. And so what, in essence, she was doing is saying there are certain qualities or characteristics, which I would argue are arbitrary, that she believes disqualify a certain class of human beings from being valuable or from being a person. And that's where, of course, the SLED test comes in, because all the qualities or characteristics that she was going to offer, and that she did offer, fell under one of these four categories: size, level of development, environment, and degree of dependency. And so I was able to then respond with sort of the SLED test type of response. And then, of course, if they say that the unborn is a human being, and they think that all human beings are valuable, or they're all persons, just like Judith Jarvis Thompson, or perhaps many others, then basically the defense for abortion is based on a woman's bodily rights, trumping the child's rights. In which case, this take the roof off as a tactic and stand to reason. It's just basically reductio ad absurdum, accepting the premises of their, or accepting the rationale for their argument, taking it to its logical conclusion, showing that it's absurd, therefore the rationale is absurd. So, and that's what Scott did in a lot of instances. He gave examples to show, well, if you accept, Judith Jarvis Thompson's argument, then this leads to this ridiculous thing. And then, of course, you just present the arguments responding to the violinist or body rights arguments. And so now, as I teach making abortion unthinkable, or all these kinds of arguments to students, I try to present them to this chart because, as you can see, when you see it like this, it gives them a lot of confidence in recognizing, wait a minute, if I know how to do this, this, and this, then I, for the most part, can respond to virtually every defense for abortion that exists out there. And that's really the case. And then, in fact, when we take, I do a thing where we train students on the art of pro-life persuasion, and then we go out into, say, like a downtown area and have them engage passersby on using an abortion questionnaire. And of course, that leads naturally to discussions about abortion. Oftentimes, these people bring up challenges in favor for abortion, and I'm telling you, 100% of the time, there are defenses for abortion fall in one of these 3 camps. And as a result, the students are prepared. And these are students just after a day of training, know how to deal with just about everybody on the street that they come across. So this just is a great way, I think, that helps to organize our thoughts and recognize that, look, every defense for abortion is going to fall into one of these 3 camps. And if you're prepared with these 3 categories of responses to the defenses, then you're very, very well prepared.
How many of you would like that mailed to you? Yeah, I think so. Excellent stuff. Thank you, Alan, for that. It's funny, when I looked at that chart, I immediately thought, I've been doing that in my own mind, but have never drawn it out. It's the way I automatically go that way, as you will, but it's nice to see it illustrated. And he's exactly right. 100% that I've ever encountered go into one of those 3 boxes. That's exactly right. Well, listen.